And in this particular video, I wanted to show you guys my Saryn builds. Give me 1 second as I pull up the chat. And I'm going to go through 2 builds particularly. One is, of course, the one you're looking at, and the other one is going to be Aspirin Saryn. The names are just names, but Plague Saryn is, it's the plague, right? So you spread your spores. The spores deal the damage that they deal, and then you got a little bit of duration for her toxic lash, right? Now, if you just want to use spores exclusively, then you could simply replace continuity with intensify, and then it'll put you at 224. But I'm just going to leave it here for now. And to be quite frank, this is probably better for ESO than anything else. But if you're not too concerned about that, then you can run that and just take the extra melee damage. It's totally up to you. Helps a little bit with the decay on her spores as well. Now, if you notice, this one has larva on it, and you'll notice a trend. Most of the frames that I have a really high range kind of already, that's where I tend to use larva. Larva, in this case, I'm only using it because it's a good CC. I like personally the CC. I have a whole list of a bunch of other abilities I could use. One of which would be Roar, but the duration is too low for Roar to really work. Roar would work, but the duration is kind of nah. Could use Breach Surge and just be an invisible Saryn, basically, right? Could use Blood Altar, could use Defy, could use Decoy, could use Dispensary, could use anything. But I like Roar personally. Not Roar, sorry about that. I like Larva personally. But let me go ahead and show you what this build is composed of and why I like this build. So what we're going to do is we're going to do an ESO run. Because this is mainly what I use for Exterminates and ESO. And if you noticed, I had the range. Actually, let me go back and talk about the build just for 2 seconds, and then we'll run at ESO. If you notice, it has 235 range. Now I could do more range, but I don't want to do too much with the range. But the main thing is that range is going to be the de facto in this build, because I need the spores to spread as far away as they can, because the enemies can have a tendency to spread out, right? Toxic Lash I'm not too worried about. Miasma I'm only using to really spread the spores or do, low level kills and help kill them so they can spread the spores even faster. And then Larva is just there because why the hell not, right? Per usual, we have our Arcane Strike. You can use whatever Arcane you want. Arcane Guardian, I have that there for now. Now, if you want, you can even do this strategy, which is Arcane Aegis, and then you could replace, I don't know, maybe this or something else for an Augur mod. Like, let's say you had Augur Reach here. Boop, you have that there, and then you can replace maybe Toxic Lash or Miasma with Larva, right? And then what happens is, anytime you potentially get shield gated, you could just hit your second to get your shield back, and while you're doing that, you could wait for Arcane Aegis to proc. Once Arcane Aegis procs, and it only has a 1 second cooldown for Arcane Aegis. Once Arcane Aegis procs, then you don't have to spam your second anymore. You just have an infinite shield gate for, what, 12 seconds? That should be enough time for you to get the heck out of dodge and do whatever you got to do from there, right? But for this particular situation, I'm not going to do that. I'm going to do Guardian because I like Guardian, and I don't really rely on shield gating, because if I have to shield gate, that means I'm running the wrong frame. So I am going to come in here, and we're going to run ESO and see how this fares. Now I'm using a Brahma, so I got Prime Sure-Footed. I'm using Nucor for no reason, actually. I'm using the Dual Cares, which is just kind of my go-to for now. And we're going to see what this looks like in ESO. Now I probably should have went public as to cause more spawns, but You know, it's whatever. So if it goes up to at least wave 8, then we are in good hands with Allstate. If it goes past that, we are in better hands with Allstate. Companions don't matter. This is just the frame. Alright, we're going to start right there. Going to hit our lockdown. Just going to hit and get rid of that. If you notice, my playstyle with this Saryn is very flippity-floppity and very active. So you'll have to adjust it to your playstyle. If you play a little bit slower, then of course you'll have to compensate for that with maybe a different mod, maybe a different setup altogether. Plus I do a lot of spin to win type of stuff. As you can see, we have some chill gating there. But I have my lockdown in place for that. I could probably chill. Hey, energy orb. Let's grab that. Go ahead and throw a larva out, see if we can't grab somebody. Reach out and touch somebody. Reach out and touch somebody. What I like is because the range is already insane, I have a high likelihood that I'm gonna grab somebody. And this is a wide area, you know, considering. Should probably put a spore on somebody just to keep it alive. Use that for a little CC. Get our damage up. Next one. This one should be relatively easy because all I have to do is that. And then just collect. Dang, come on. Wait for my energy to come back. Hit that every so often. Clear out the excrement. And just try to keep that number above water. As you can see, there's our range going to work. So with the 235 range, it seems to be doing its job. Also, the Arcane Strike is allowing for any additional healing if necessary. We're gonna hit that. Try and get some more spores going. Let's go on ahead and cast our fourth. And let that cook. And get some more energy while we're at it. That's where Prime Surefooted comes into play. And now for this open area. Alright. Now these are Corpus and they have flux rifles. So Molt would be nice, but I don't feel like I need it that much. I just need some energy and I will be okay. Yay. And every so often if I just do that, then I should be in good hands with all stuff. Seems like I wasn't. That's okay. That number will get back up. The only thing, as I said earlier in the video, about this particular build is it's a very playstyle heavy kind of build, so you're going to have to be really quick on your toes. For a more relaxed build, you're definitely going to be running Augur mods, as you will need the defense. But if you don't really play like that with a Saryn, then you shouldn't need them. I need one spore. There we go. Dang. I was gonna spread at least. Thank you. I see you. Oh yeah, I'm solo. What the heck am I doing? I could be all over the place. Alright, stop what you're doing. Prime Surefooted for the win. Alright, next one, and then we'll jump out. Well, I wish I could go quicker as to not bore you guys with just doing ESO, but I want to see how far this build goes in ESO, as she is the ESO queen, I guess. Now, of course, all these builds that I'm going to be showing are going to be coupled with Lockdown and Elevate. That's only because I use Lockdown and I use Elevate for my healing. Hence, I don't use a lot of defensive tools outside of, you know, the norm. I just simply don't want to be one shot. But if I need to heal, I usually just do that and then I'm okay. Right, so I get hit by Toxin. Ooh, the Toxin procs, they hurt so much. I do that and then I'm back. Or I can just melee an enemy and then I'm good to go. Right, so most of the builds you're going to see, pretty much all the builds you're going to see, are going to be a healing return, elevate, lockdown build. You can switch these out however you want. If you don't have elevate, healing return suffices. If you don't have healing return, elevate, but you are at some point going to have some way to heal yourself, regardless of what that is. If you don't have a way to heal yourself, then I would try to find a way to heal yourself. That's my answer to that. Because no one's responsible for you except you. That is how the Cypha do. Okay, someone got a spread. There we go. We should be able to sit here and just kind of let that number go up without doing too much work, as they don't have guns, which is nice. We just have to keep spores up. Boop. And that works. Now let's see if we can spread them a little bit. All right. Get rid of him. I probably shouldn't have did that. And right there is exactly why I shouldn't have did that. Okay, that works too. Alright, this area is pretty easy. For the most part, you just run in circles. So we're gonna, I guess, start here. And then we're just gonna run in circles. Wow, 35. That's gonna be a thing in a second. Okay, we got a disruptor. That could be a problem. Once that number gets to about 1,000, I'm gonna stop, and we're just gonna kind of let the spores do their job. But I'm trying to make a controlled spawn rate, which is why I'm going in a circle. But that's more of an ESO thing rather than a Saryn thing. All right, cool. Now we basically wait. Cool. The whole idea is, will her spores do their job? That is the question. There was something. There it goes. Uh-oh. Ah, whatever. Oh, I didn't even realize the percentage. All right. All right. Let's hope it is Grenier. Yay! That was the wrong spot to do that, but that's okay. If only there was a Nox. Help me. I was thinking of the Kevin Hart joke. So as we can see, the range seems to be doing its job fairly well. Efficiency may not be the best, but we do need the strength. We don't need it, but it's nice having the strength. And to be quite honest, the negative strength, not negative, yeah, actually, yeah, that's what it is. Negative strength on a Saryn for ESO works surprisingly well if you have a weapon that you are clearing a lot of enemies with, because at that point, all you're trying to do is reduce the armor, right? And it also keeps enemies from prematurely dying. As you can see, there's one that prematurely died there, right? So not having it too strong is a balanced decision that you'll have to make based on, once again, it's how you play, right? Maybe you don't spin and flip around and shoot Brahmas at your feet and stuff like that, right? So really all I'm doing now is building up energy. So that way I can do that and start focusing on getting my, or at least maintaining my percentage at a respectable number. We want to keep it around, I want to say 50. Like, I'm cool with it being at 50 for now. Uh-oh. We're in the 40s. We're looking bad now. Keep the spread. Keep spreading the love. Now to wrap everything up, we're going to do that, and stuff should die. We're going to get above 50 again, and I think this next one's Corpus, which means we're going to take a huge hit. Oh, cool, it's corrupted. Do I? Ooh, they trying. See what's up here, and then I'll check the comments out. Actually, can I pause it? Yay! Hi, Rio. There should be a still path. There should be still path everything. I don't know why there's not still path everything, but there's not. But there should be. There really should be. Uh-oh. Alright, let's go this way and see what y'all talking about over here. Yeah, if there was a steel path like this, that'd be so fire. Larva, because it's larva. Wait, what? Cool. So, you know, we'll take another trip back to the whatchamacallit, and we'll take another review at the Saryn build to see if we did it right, I guess. I don't know. Cool. Now we're going to 8. Sorry it's taking so long, but you gotta have proof in the pudding before you show a build off. So Matter of fact, let's hit our third, because I haven't used that the whole time. What's nice about this setup with the Arcane Strike and the weapon choice is that I don't have to break my thumb to achieve these high swing speeds, right? So at least that's the strategy. It should simply, I should be able to swing 1,000,000 times a second without breaking a knuckle, right? If you listen, that's how fast I'm hitting the button, right? It's not like like I'm not hitting it that fast, and it's effective. So this is why I use these builds. As you notice, I only got close to, I guess, about to die because I was using my Brahma and not my melee, right? But when I'm using my melee, I never die, for the most part, because I'm always actively healing myself, right? They can shoot me as much as they want to. But if I hit something 45 times, like right now I got 360, let's see how long it takes to get back. And I'm back, right? And that's killing enemies. So, all right, let's see if we can wipe some of these guys out, because the number's getting a little low. But, you know, hey, I need you to share this with everyone. Thank you, good sir. Now, I think when you're getting to the point where you're going for like wave 20 and whatnot, you can really just get 4 of these Saryns and you should be good. As long as everybody is like doing what they should. Now, it's not that 4 spores will be on all the enemies. That's not the case. But it's that there will never be an enemy without a spore. That's the case, right? All right, you go on ahead and take one. Pass it around. Now, if you notice, I am looking like a tryhard, but when I play Saryn, this is just how I play. And really all it is circle and L1. So it's not like I'm doing a ton of work. Oh yeah, I should probably get rid of the rest of these guys. Should I keep going? Totally up to you guys. I can if you guys would like me to. I can keep going. It's up to you guys. But I can either leave now and show the build, or I can keep going and see how far we can actually push this Saryn in ESO, because this is dominantly a ESO Saryn, but you can actually use this build for a whole host of things. This is not, I do want to stress this is not a survival Saryn though. A survival Saryn looks different. This is just a DPS Saryn. You can kill this is what you take to kill bosses. Like not in still, you can do it in Still Path, but not in Still Path. And actually I have a different build that's made specifically to kill bosses. So we'll just leave, I guess. And yeah, we'll leave. I'll show the build, and then we'll go, I don't know, kill something. We'll kill something big or whatever. Like a Juggernaut or whatever. We'll go to Sim, kill a Juggernaut. But then I have, actually we're not going to do that, because this is not the build I use for that. The build I actually use to kill bosses is majorly different. So here's the one I use for that ESO run. You don't have to use Larva. It's just there just because I was bored with the Helminth system, but there are times where it has come in super clutch having that on there. Right? Now, as I said, you could switch this for Aegis, and you could switch this for Augur Reach, and now you have a shield gating situation, but you're going to want to switch this for Augur Reach and this for Aegis under the expectation that your molt is going to be there, because you need an insta-cast to really be able to take advantage of that. And you're only using the Augur Reach set bonus to keep yourself from getting to your health while Aegis is trying to proc. Once Aegis procs, you don't have to hit your second anymore. That's that whole point. Now I have one that says ESO Saryn. That one's just less strength and I think more efficiency or vitality or something. I don't know. Maybe it's the exact same. I don't know. Anyway, here's my boss killer. Now this is what I use to kill everything. This is just, oh, damage? Yeah, let's do that, right? If you want to be even kookier about it because, you know, big dick energy, you can just do that and now you have more strength. Or you can swap this out for damage and have even more strength. But that's the 300 whatever Saryn. But if you notice, I have Empower here. And because this is it's not a duration based build, right? But this is the build that I use this is the build I use when I need a lot of melee DPS. Not necessarily a lot of gun DPS. This is just when I need a lot, when it's nice to have a lot of melee, like a Kuva Lich or something. Like let's say I'm killing a Kuva Lich, or I'm killing, like specifically the Kuva Lich. Like I'm not doing Kuva Lich missions. Kuva Lich missions is a different build entirely too. But for killing the Lich, like I'm helping someone kill their Lich type of scenario, and it's rank 5 or something, this is the build that I use. And I'm gonna kill a couple enemies and I'll explain what's doing what. But I'll try to kind of start the explanation now while I'm loading everything up. So we have Venom Dose, right? And we have 254 ability strength. What Venom Dose is doing is it's giving me an extra 254 corrosive damage. And with that corrosive damage, it's going to help me strip through shields. Now, that comes from her first ability. And you could use spores on top of that, but it's it's really just the damage that you're looking at, right? Then you have Contagion Cloud, or Contagious Cloud, something like that, right? And what that's doing is it's giving additional gas clouds every time you strike an enemy with your melee. Now you're going to get gas procs. No, I think it's just Toxin. I got to double check it, but you're going to be getting a lot. You get a lot of damage just from having that third there, and if you get a kill on the melee, then it's going to do 200% damage on your gas cloud, right? So, question: you use Prime Flow because of quick thinking? That is the main reason it's about half the reason I use Prime Flow, yes. But I would say you don't really want to use quick thinking unless you have Prime Flow, with the exception of a couple of Warframes. But at that point, it's going to be based on taste. But you want to use that music. You want to use Prime Flow when you're using quick thinking to give yourself a bigger EHP pool, effectively. If you're using quick thinking, just use quick thinking. You could be hindering yourself a lot by not having Prime Flow on there, right? So, but with this one, as you can see, we have Empower. This does not scale with ability mods, so you can technically have a 40 power strength or even a 10 power strength frame, and you can give yourself a flat 50, which is nice. But we're going to be using this in the context of these two abilities, right? We're going to add 50 to the Venom Dose, and you can add 50 to Spores if you'd like. That's an option. But based on the content you're going to be doing, you're probably not going to be doing Spores like that, because this is... Or you can. I don't know. I just know what I'm using this build for is not to spread Spores. I'm using this build to destroy one enemy. So I'm giving myself 304 Venom Dose, and I'm going to give myself a ass load of Contagion Cloud and a ton of extra Toxin damage. And they both do Toxin, as I can see. So that works. You could do it for miasma, but you're not going to have a ton of range, so probably not going to be the biggest option, right? But that's what we're going for. So we have these enemies set forth before us. And if you guys don't know, Juguluses have infested whatever it's called. So they're not weak against corrosive, right? They're weak against the health is, but the sinew, the armor isn't. So it's not going to help there, but it is going to give us additional damage. Heavy gunners are. The Nox Eximus is not, and the Juggernaut is. Okay, so we're going to kill these guys
probably, okay, I guess I'll start with the knock. So what we're gonna do is we're gonna hold the first ability, hit the third ability, and that gets them started, right? But remember, the numbers look a little off. So this build does take a little work to do, but if you're running through a map and you're killing enemies, or not even killing enemies, you're just running to a boss fight. While you're running, you can just air cast this, and right before you get there, you know what I mean, you just go boop, boop, and boom, now you're at the boss. Now you have a 91 and a 304, right? So now you're at the boss, and now it's time to kill the enemy. So I'm gonna kill this Nox, I guess. Alright, so that's the Eximus, right? Here's the Heavy Gunner. Okay. And I accidentally killed the Sanu. And now here's the Juggernaut. Now this one still takes a while because all my damage is coming from... Oop, I don't even have it on it right now. Because this isn't a Juggernaut killing build for my melee. So it's going to take forever to kill a Juggernaut. But you kind of get the picture. You see 1572 popping out everywhere. That's the goal. You want to be hitting in the thousands, right? Now, if you want to actually go and kill a Juggernaut, if that's your thing, and hey, I want to do the I don't know, just whatever the hell reason you want to kill a Juggernaut for in a mission, right? All you do is you come here, you can grab whatever melee you want. The melee, and I 100% mean this, the melee does not matter. You can do it with sheaves, it doesn't matter. You just do, all you do is you put on a corrosive stat stick build. So literally just make a stat stick build with corrosive, totally ignore status, and keep in mind Juggernauts don't take status procs. And if you need further identification of that, we're going to hit this Juggernaut with a 185% status Nucor. Where's he at? There it goes. It's 185 status Nucor. We're going to have multi-shot and fire rate and 4 different status types. And I can unload this entire clip and he will not get status procced. So you're not going to be taking advantage of condition overload to kill a Juggernaut, but rather you're going to be doing the whole, you know, beef yourself up Rhino situation and then hit it with a stat stick build and it should fall relatively quickly. And that's the magic behind killing a Juggernaut. It's not rocket science. It's not some magic unicorn somebody pulled out their ass. It's just, that's all it is. But that is the power of this Saryn, right? So that's what you're doing. This is the build I use to kill bosses that felt like they were taking too long. Like maybe Till Rigger felt like he was taking a little longer than I wanted to. Maybe, I don't know, who else? Alad V, Still Path. Like they just felt like they were taking too long. Mutilus Alad V, he was annoying. And actually at one point I accidentally one-shot him in Still Path. I didn't think it was possible, but it happened, so there it is. So those are the builds I used. Side note, if you're not a huge fan of Arcane Strike, I'm going to be mentioning this in every video I put out. If you're not a huge fan of Arcane Strike, you can put something else there. If you use guns more than anything, acceleration, tempo, anything like that, Avenger, you can do those type of arcanes if you'd like. If you do use melee but you don't really care about speed, you can use Fury. You can really put whatever your magical heart desires in any of the arcane slots, and you can replace Prime Surefooted for whatever you want. But the general consensus around this build, I want that to be taken out of this, and that is that you're using Venom Dose and Contagion Cloud, and you're putting a absolute disrespectful amount of strength on, while of course respecting everything else that you got, like quick thinking for your defense and adaptation, you know, respect that obviously. This is in place of vitality, because vitality's nice, but I didn't need that much. I just needed a little icing on the cake, because 300 was just a little too, not that much. But I do have Empower here because I want Empower. Now you might be apt to use Roar, which in my opinion would be far more beneficial because you don't have to do as many casts, but it's there in place of Roar, as I do not have the vial to put Roar on. So if you can afford Roar, then take a really high power strength Saryn. I recommend over 200 power strength. It can be 5 power strength. I don't give a damn. But just make it a lot of power strength, contextually speaking, and make sure that you have these 2 arcanes on. This one's going to give you the gas cloud, so it's going to deal a lot of damage, and the damage is going to double if you kill an enemy with melee. And then this one is going to buff your weapon by that amount of corrosive damage, which we already run on our builds also. Not only that, keep that in mind that 99% of the time we're running viral on our melees. So you're gonna automatically be coupled with a corrosive viral build. Make sense? Alright, cool. Let me check out this. Would you consider a Seeking Shuriken on a Saryn? You can if you want to, but I'm bypassing shields with viral, so I don't really need it. Right, so, or armor, right? So if I grab something like a, oh, by the way, if you strip armor on a Juggernaut, it does work. You can do that, but at that point, I'm probably, I don't know. You can, I just don't see the point in all that when you're killing something as fast as the Saryn is. I would rather take Roar, because I'm going to be going up against, you know, stuff that might not necessarily benefit from Seeking Shuriken. You know what I mean? It strips armor. Yeah, the armor is nice. But if I can just simply bypass the armor, then I'll just bypass it. But you can do whatever you want. So let me get rid of this, and then we'll pull out an Ambulance, or 20. And then we'll hit Ambulance a bunch of times and see what happens. Now, once again, he's not weak. The Ambulance is not weak to anything I got at all. So we're just looking at the power of this. And for this example, I'm not going to use Empower, as that might want to be, you know, as the person said, what about Seeking Shuriken? Well, I'm going to leave that open for you guys, but we're just going to hit this Ambulance and see what happens when we get to a 12 times multiplier. And there's one. There's 2. Now, why is it taking a long time? Well, because Ambuli have weak points, right? The reason I wanted to show you that is because of that weak point, right? So if you happen to melee that thing right here, it doesn't matter the build you have. Hitting over here is going to be strong, but hitting right here is going to be way stronger. And I mean way stronger, as you can see, right? So as long as you're hitting there, particularly meleeing, then it should go down pretty quick, right? But go ahead and grab whatever build you want, put it together, try to take that thing down from behind, and then put this build on and let me know if it's weaker, stronger. Leave it down in the comments. Just let me know how you like it. Ultimately, I just want to know if it helps you guys. If you're having trouble killing a boss and you feel like you're not able to kill it fast enough, maybe this might be the approach you might want to try. You can also try, of course, Octavia, or an armor strip. You know, you can couple with an armor strip. But yeah, this is the build that we're looking at. Whatever the Helminth choice is up to you. I'm using Empower as a placeholder for Roar, because I might want to use Spores at some point, or Miasma at some point, and Seeking Shuriken only hits 2 enemies, whereas I can hit more enemies with that. Not downplaying Seeking Shuriken, it's just not in my personal repertoire. But if it's in yours, use it, as it's just going to make you more busted, right? So, bada bing, bada boom, there's that. Here's the one we did the ESO with. This one, just want to make sure I'm putting this on very thick. And that is that to use this one, you're going to have to like be relatively active on your controller. If you want to be less active, I'm just going to give you a visual of what that's going to look like. That is going to be, you can even use this. No, actually, no. I recommend Augur Reach. Where is Reach at? Here we go. You're going to have that there, and then you're going to switch this out for Aegis. Now you can chill for a little bit, right? But you're going to want to obviously have insta-cast ability. So maybe you might want to replace Toxic Lash, which I wouldn't recommend that. But you might want to replace Miasma, something like that. But we're going to get shot, and we're going to see what the defensibility looks like. Well, I should probably get energy. That might be a good idea. Cool. Oh yeah, I forgot. It has to hit her shield. So you have to have redirection on there somewhere. That was the issue. I forgot about that. Sorry about that, guys. Yeah, so somewhere, so I apologize. I forgot, because I never run that build. But that was the issue. I apologize. So you have to have, you don't have to have, but you want to have redirection on there somewhere. Because it's under the assumption that they're hitting your shield. So when your shield gets damaged, then it procs. But you're going to be spamming this a lot. So yeah, so I personally don't use that one. Huh. Huh. And huh. And that is my Saryn. Giddy up, giddy up. That is my situation. So I think that pretty much does it. If there's any questions, leave them down in the comments. If you know, need anything as far as anything, or you want to know my personal take on something, I can give you my personal take. Objectively, I always give you both the answers. Objectively, this. Personally, this. That, and then you take it as you want. And then that's pretty much it. So I hope you guys enjoyed. At the end of the day, you know, just let me know if, like I said, if this helped or not. And I'll see you guys out there, and good luck with your Saryns, and I hope you guys are doing all the damage that you need to do. And shot about a blang, blah, 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 blah. All right? All right. All right. I'll let you guys in the next piece of content. All right. Love you guys. Peace. Woo!